Go.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the beginning of our campaign in Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. I am eagerly looking forward to getting this session rolling, and we've talked ahead of time about where our characters are in the world and where they are when they receive a mysterious letter, one that has been placed into their hands in a variety of different ways, but the end result's the same. They hold an unassuming scroll. Its wax seal bears the heraldry of a handsome bird spearing a wriggling fish with its long beak. The scroll sits heavy as a rock in your hands as you open it, and the words upon it read as follows. Dear friend, I am Becklin Uth Viharen. I've heard much about you from our mutual friend Ispin Greenshield. It grieves me to share the news that our dear friend Ispin passed away peacefully here at his home in Vogler. May fortune and the old gods protect his soul. Ispin's friends are holding a memorial for him in the manner he always wanted. It will take place here in Vogler on the eve of the Kingfisher Festival. I write to ask you to do Ispin one last honor and attend. Should you come, accommodations will be available at the Brass Crab. Although the circumstances are sad, I am eager to meet you and, through our memories, to revel in the life of our great friend. Sincerely, Becklin Uth Viharen, Knight of the Crown. Our characters have, in their own way, met Ispin Greenshield in the years of their life in a variety of different manners. As they hold this scroll in their hands, taking in the news of the death of a beloved or dear friend from their past, I would like each of us to share a story of how they knew Ispin and why their connection to this individual was strong enough to urge them onward to travel across the world to Vogler, which they may have never set foot in, so that they can see their friend off into the afterlife. Who would like to go first?
I can. If we want.
Yes, Eldquin, feel free.
Yeah. So, Eldquin met Ispin. When he was younger, after his brother had left from home, and his parents had started becoming a bit more active in the community. Ispin became a friend of the family, one of the ones that Eldquin actually enjoyed his company. And at a certain point, Eld's parents left, and Ispin was the one that pretty much took care of him for a few days and started the trek to get him to the Tower of Wayrith. He spent his time traveling there with Ispin, and once he had gotten there, made sure he was set up and okay before he ended up taking off. So that is the story I've got.
Excellent. Well, we would see Elquin traveling a great distance to get to Vogler, perhaps making use of Wayrith's magical functions to teleport to a closer destination, but then hitting the dusty, foot-trodden roads to reach Calaman, or maybe sailing up the river. Either way, he is well on his way. Who would like to go next?
Alex, Dustin, either of you guys?
I can go.
Okay.
Excellent. Laffy, how did your character meet Ispin Greenshield?
Well, Laffy met Ispin Greenshield after she went to the same tower for passing her test. It was after her test, and it was accepted in the order, she decided that her life's calling, after spending her entire life as a hermit in the woods with a crazy old man, was to travel the world and see the wonders. And she ran into Ispin in one of the great cities. I don't actually know the cities of Dragonlance, so one of the bigger cities of Dragonlance. After all of my stuff was stolen. Like, literally someone stole the saddlebags off of my back.
Oh no.
And Ispin helped me track down the thieves and recover all of my goods. At least what was left. Luckily, I was able to recover my lens that was given to me by my father. But we had quite an adventure through that town.
Wonderful. Yeah. I imagine you would have been able to have that adventure in one of the great cities in the north near where he lived, such as Kalaman or Salamnia.
Ah.
And let's see, where are you traveling from? The forests of Estwild. Luckily for you, that won't be quite as long a journey. But that'll bring us next to either Thrag or Nimoy.
What you got, Thrag?
Okay. So, Thrag is obviously a Leonin. He comes from a land he is not sure where it originated. He all he knows is the surrounding area of Elcombe, where him and his father took refuge. His father died from complications of the long journey that brought him to Elcombe, and he was raised kind of on his own, and he defended the village. Not defended. He lived in a small village in Elcombe, and that's where he met our mutual acquaintance. And it was there he and Ispin, sorry. Ispin Greenshield defended the small village against a horde of goblins.
Wonderful. Bonds formed in battle are often the strongest, and I imagine that bond would be strong enough to inspire traveling across the land to make it for this funeral.
Yes.
That would finally leave us to Nimoy.
Oh, Ispin Greenshield. He's a bastard. He's 100%. But, a good friend. Very good friend. It's a short story. No, I meant Ispin. A funny one. You will laugh. We were, I was at least. Very young man. 20-something, can't quite remember, but I was young, I was poor, didn't have a gold to my name, I was scrappy, got in a lot of fights, but there's this girl, you see, beautiful woman. I'm in love with her, first moment that I see her. I try to win her heart, but there is one person, one motherfucker who gets in my way. What's his name? It's Ispin Greenshield. Look at him. He was older man, had his own fortune, had all of this suaveness about him, experience, everything I was not. He has eyes for same girl. Well, we come to blows a few times, and nothing ever getting too violent, but constantly trying to outwoo her. Well, turns out over time, we developed a bit of a hatred towards one another, and with it came down to brass tacks. It finally happened that both of us learned on almost the same day that the girl had gotten married. To some broker's son, a skinny little lad with a soft heart. We both lost. And, I think there was just a moment where I saw him sitting across from me at the same bar, same tavern. We were both moping. We look at each other. Our expressions go from moping to laughing. It was funny. Both of us were great suitors, but we both lose girl. So rivalry turned to a friendship. And Icepin and I, well, we don't talk much, but he had a lot to teach me. He was a learned man. And I see him once in a while, but now it seems our visits will come to an end. I'm sad to hear of his death, though happy that he went peacefully.
The important question here of that story is the broker's son still alive?
The bastard probably is still alive, yes. And he probably has big family, very happy. I'm so happy for him.
Well, a truly wonderful story, though one with a somber ending, as we see yet another adventurer packing their bags to make the trek across God knows what of this forsaken land to get to Vogler,
To go through the delve.
town. Truth. Have to go through delving and either pick a boat and risk the sea or just march across the land to Calaman. But either way, our adventurers will all see themselves trotting across the broken lands of Kryn, one that is still to this day healing from the travesties that saw it rent in the past, an event known as the Cataclysm. A forewarned event that the gods tried to avoid by sending down visions and prophets to protect and warn the individuals of this land that they strayed too far from the divine and practiced things too dark to be accepted. But unfortunately, from all of those who were given visions, who were told of this calamity, they all either waved it away or saw them to be omens of a different kind, ignoring the signs before them in favor of wealth and power. So the gods dropped a fucking mountain on the world, and with it they took their clerics and their magic and abandoned this land, leaving it relatively faithless. And this is the land that our characters march across. Sure, this event happened centuries ago, but the echoes of that devastating event still ring true to this day, and people look harshly upon the protectors of old, who used to be vaunted for their strength and loyalty, their passionate protection of the people, the Knights of Solemnia, who are at least tolerated now. Many see them as failed protectors who either saw this cataclysm brought to the world or failed to prevent it. Either way, people look to the knighthood and mumble under their breath whenever they see the armor and the horned helm. But those aren't the only things our people will hear mumbling as we make our way across this land. We will hear more alarming things. We will hear dire wartime rumors. I would like everyone to roll 1d10. Alright. Nimoy, we'll start with you since you were the first. As you are making your way across the lands towards Eastwild, past Calaman, and eventually to Vogler, you will hear of a great fleet of elven ships sighted heading west. Rumor has it the elves are retreating to their secret homeland. But what they're fleeing, no one can truly say. But if it's something so terrifying as to make the elves turn tail and run, it's concerning to say the least.
I'm just writing this down.
Eltquin. Oh yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Eltquin. You hear that the nation of Kerr has been united under a powerful warlord, one who seeks to conquer the world. People wonder just how far his reach will make, and whether or not those who would stand against him would have the power to do so.
The start of that was something united under a powerful warlord.
Oh, the nation of Kerr has been
Nation
united.
of Kerr.
Yes. And that is the lands actually just south of where our boy Nimoy
Yeah.
is coming from.
That's from home, Eld.
Okay.
Can I hear that one again? Because that's relative to me.
Oh, sure. Rumor had it that the nation of Kerr had been united under a powerful warlord who seeks to conquer the world.
Oh, to the south. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Alafi, as you journey, you will hear grumblings of how the Kender homeland of Kendermore suffered some terrible disaster, and the Kender are traveling far, seeking help, but also spreading trouble wherever they go.
That is par for the course.
It's true. Rambunctious little shits. Thrag. You hear grumblings of the mages. You hear rumors that members of the mages of high society spread lies of dangers in the east to keep people isolated, scared, and under their secret control.
Okay. Do I know what these rumors are about, or?
They're about the high mages spreading falsehoods to keep people isolated and
Oh,
scared
okay.
and
The,
under their
the high-
control.
the high society. Okay. All right.
We would never do that sort of thing.
Never ever totally would. Darn black robes. Alright, well, as our party makes their way to Vogler, they will spend many a night and many an hour alone or in the company of strangers. But before some of our party leave to go on their adventure, they have to do something important, something that probably won't come onto their plate anytime soon if they leave. Those who find themselves at the Tower of Wayreth taking a test, an important test, one that admits them to their order of mage before taking off to the far-flung parts of the world to attend a funeral. So, whether inspired by this journey or maybe the timing was just right, either way, we see it's going to take me a minute to learn the names by heart, but we see Alafi and Eldquin both attending their initiation ceremony. Grab this for you. I need to use bookmarks. Okay. We open on a starry night. An important night. Ahead of you rises the Barb, a jagged, half-ruined spire of gray stone. Many who aspire to join the mages of high society have come here to prove their magical proficiency. You see them gathered around you. Although some years you were told that there were many. Tonight there are but a few, a sparse handful. The barb itself is usually nothing more than a ruin, its construction predating the cataclysm. But tonight, on the night of the Eye, when Kryn's 3 moons align, the ruin is alive with magic once more. Soft light shines from the archway leading inside the structure. You approach, instructed by the few mages here guiding the initiates to be. The arch opens into a large atrium lit with flaming sconces and adorned with grand tapestries depicting Kin's 3 moons. Doors circle the room. The light of the moons cascade through the broad windows high above. At the center of this room stands a serene-looking woman with long gray hair and red robes. She nods as you enter. What is the passive perception of our 2 characters?
15?
9, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, feel free to roll a perception check for me then, Eldquin.
Alrighty. Let's go for skills. Perception. You said double click does it?
Yeah, double click should be what you need to roll.
There we go. Exactly passive.
All right. So, both of you will make note, as you are looking about this magically enhanced room, that these doors, they would lead outside. But they don't. You get the feeling that you must be in some kind of extra-dimensional space. Now, the instructor speaks in a cool and collected tone that drips just a little bit of sheer and utter boredom. Perhaps she's done this before. All right, if everyone is to follow me, she motions toward the doors, I am to instruct you on your initiation test. To pass this test, you must face the trials in one of these rooms, which are accessible only for the Night of the Eye. That means you do have a time limit. These trials will consist of magical tests to test your talent, but carry none of the dangers of the test of high society. High sorcery. This is simply a foundational test to ensure that you have the potential to reach said heights. So, I will reiterate, the goal is to complete the challenge within the room. Not every room will have the same challenge, so if any of you were guided by previous initiates, well, you were misled. You have until the end of the night. Please, pick a door, and best of luck. The 2 of you decide to pick a door. There are enough initiates that you see them pairing themselves off to go into each door as groups. Both Eldquin and Alafi, you are the last 2 remaining, with only one door unopened. You step through, and the trial begins. The door shuts behind you, a portal of swirling amber light vanishing into darkness, leaving only the hintest relief of the arch that you passed through. The door itself opened into a wide rotunda with black stone floors and walls carved with elaborate runes. The interior is empty, save for a single pedestal at the room's center. A Atop this pedestal, an ornate key balances on its tip. On the opposite side of the room, an identical closed door appears. The room itself is 100 feet in diameter, with only one wall at the opposite side.
Well, do we think this... Do we need the key, or is the door just open?
You can see that although there is the illusion that a door is present, it doesn't seem to be open.
Well, the key is either a trap or a trap and required.
True. Should we try the door before we try the key, or which way we want to do this?
Oh, I feel like we should maybe try the door first, just in case this is a test of are you stubborn.
Maybe. Let's try that. So Eldquin will kind of make his way around the outside wall of the room and try to make it to the other side where the door is at.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna try the other outside wall just as a in case it's blocked on one side.
and he'll try to... You said there were runes on the wall as well. He'll try to take some note of if he recognizes any of them.
Excellent. Give me an Arcana check.
Oof, rolling bad.
All right. As you make your way around the room, keeping close to the wall enough that you can watch the intricate rune carvings play out as you walk, you definitely see that there is both a pattern and a purpose to it. You spent so much time studying to take this test at the very least that you recognize spell patterns and the like. You know that this wall is showing you something, but without more time to study it, you could not possibly glean what it's trying to get at. Not at a glance.
Okay.
That being said, both you and Alafi make your patrol around the edge of the rotunda and make it to the door.
Yes,
It is
try the door.
a simple illusory door. You can see it has a keyhole.
No handle?
There's a door and a handle.
Eldquin will reach out and try the handle.
Yeah, you reach out and grab the handle. It is physical enough. You push and pull the door, but to no avail. It is locked.
So key it is.
Yep.
Something's going on with the runes out here. They're some kind of spell, something.
Yeah. I didn't really learn any of that stuff.
I might take a more in-depth look at that then. And try to, like, explain out loud as I am looking over them the things that I'm finding for Alafi.
Okay. Yeah, studying the runes would take a considerable amount of time. And you wager to test your skills upon it. It would take about an hour.
That seems like it might take too long.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can see what the key has in store.
Yeah. Guess we start walking towards the key
Yeah.
slowly.
Excellent. Not that it matters at all, but where are you in the room when you approach the key?
From the door side, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have gotten a little closer to the wall, so I might be, I don't know, 20 degrees, 30 degrees away from that, so coming at it. Slightly different angle, but...
Perfect. So the two of you approach the key and make it about 5 feet before you feel the uncomfortable sensation of running into a wall. You hear an almost magical boom as you bounce off of some kind of physical, invisible barrier.
Eld will kind of put his finger on the wall and like just keep it on his left side and start walking and see if there's another inlet. Like, is this a invisible maze, or is this a barrier that's around the whole thing?
All right. Yeah, you make it about 45 feet before you feel your fingers slip and push inward. A corner.
Okay, I guess I will come along to that, and I am going to touch the right wall while he touches the left wall.
Also, at that point, I'm gonna look to see if the runes have anything specific just right there, as opposed to elsewhere.
Yeah, it would not take a check for you to see that there's nothing particularly unique about the runes on this part of the wall.
Okay.
They are just a continuation of the scroll of knowledge laid out upon the wall as a whole.
Alrighty.
The spell thing. Is there any spells I could use to try and be...
That's what I was just looking at too. Don't have dispel magic or anything.
I do have... I have Fairy Fire.
Might
That's
help.
these invisible things, right?
Yeah. Theoretically.
Didn't prepare detect magic. Which also probably would have been useful. Yeah, I will cast Fairy Fire.
Excellent.
Towards the key.
Does Fairy Fire look any special kind of way when you cast it, or?
My Fairy Fire looks a little bit like Starfall from Boomy Druids.
Oh, that's cool.
And
So
every star sticks to something when it hits.
that's awesome. So we will watch a falling of stars around our characters, and these little blips of starlight will in fact stick to many surfaces as they try to land upon the floor, revealing, at least in part, a maze.
10-foot radius. So.
Yeah, using Fairy Fire, you will be able to navigate the maze that has been laid out before you. And you will be able to eventually make your way through the winding corridors of this particular puzzle. Having now made it to the center of the maze, you can only imagine how many hours you would have wasted trying to just feel and prod your way through this challenge. But the two of you stand with ample time to spare before the single golden key on the pedestal.
Nice work with the spell.
It is a spell test, right?
Indeed. I just don't have as many at my disposal as some of the other folk would have. But would you like to touch the key, or do you want me
Do
to?
we have a way not to touch the key?
Oh, you're right. Mage hand, and then picks up the key.
Yeah, you use Mage Hand and you pick up the key, and as the key leaves its suspended state and is removed from the pedestal, the illusion around you disappears, and you find yourself sitting in the center of the room around the array of doors. You see all of them, save for one, softly glow with an amber light. The lady you had seen before turns to you with a look of surprise on her face. Well, I had not expected anyone to finish that quickly. This speaks well. She reaches into her robes and pulls out 4 objects. 2 of them are tomes. She hands one to each of you. She says, these are spell books, or perhaps just a means for you to take record, but they are gifts from the college to you. They are emblazoned with the sigil of the 3 moons and are very fine craftsmanship. She then hands both of you a scroll. It is ornate and capped with beautiful amber red ends. You see it is wrapped in a trio of cords, one black, one red, and one white, and tied with a simple knot. And this will be for the next stage of your journey. You are to deliver this to Wyan. She is a fellow mage who lives in the city of Calaman. Take your time getting there, however you choose to make it, and whenever you choose to make it is up to you. But you will meet her, and you will deliver this. You are not to open it. Its contents are for Wyan, and for her alone. Do you understand?
You said Wyan is in Kalaman?
Calaman, yes. Far to the north from here.
And transportation is our own responsibility, yes?
Indeed it is. You are to be responsible for yourselves. If you cannot navigate the world with your talents, then I'm not sure what the college really wants from you.
This is fair. You know, I was going to be heading that direction already. So I do
how
understand.
wonderfully convenient for you.
It will probably actually just end up starting next to you in the real world then, because you're right before this, so.
Well, unless you wish to wait for your other initiates to finish, you are free to go. She turns and looks towards the other amber portals. And that concludes your initiation. Both of you now official members of the High Mage Society. Future test takers. And that would be what is on your mind, perhaps, aside from your journey to Vogler. The test you would be needing to take down the line, the Mortal Challenge. But perhaps that's a good ways out, and not truly something you need to be worrying about just yet. Either way, the two of you will enjoy relatively peaceful travel as you make your way north. And that will take us to our other travelers.
During our travel, I do mention that Pavlos says is very doom and gloom, so I only have heard bad things about every test.
Yes, I've lived around the tower, and they're justified.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, our other two companions who are making their ways north to Vogler. Both of you end up meeting on the road, traveling in the same distance. Eventually, this was bound to happen. You meet somewhere between the Kalatar Midlands and Estwild. Not
Where's
but
the
a day
Caltar?
or so
Oh, yeah,
south.
right
Yeah, not so far south from Kalaman. Your journeys take you. Well, actually, you would have the time to become acquaintances as you make your way north towards Vogler. If you would like, feel free to take the time to introduce your characters as you travel on the road.
How would your character react to seeing a lion man?
Have I seen them before, Kyle? Do I know of this species?
It would really depend how much of the world your character has traveled, especially to the south where he says his village is based. But generally, most races are present here in one manner or another, in a variety of different rarities. You would have probably at least heard of lion men.
Yeah, I think reaction would be, like, just upon seeing a Leonin, would definitely be wide eye, curiosity, but definitely like a guard, because of the mostly unknown. Like, I've likely just heard of your race more than I've seen it, or your species rather. So interactions, I'm guessing then, if you're saying it's a wide variety, perhaps I have interacted with them before. But I think I'm getting the vibe it's rare. Is that right?
It's certainly not common.
Okay, then I think wide-eyed curiosity, for sure, but a guardedness.
Greetings.
Good morning. You speak
Yeah.
common, right? No, you do. You
Yeah.
said word to me. Sorry.
Yes, I am skilled in your human.
Oh, good. Good. You're using this road.
I am.
Oh,
I seek what is that lies at the end of it. To see
you
my
heading
friend.
to Kalaman.
That is correct. I
Oh.
think.
I am going past Kalaman, but we are on same road, going same way. You seem okay. You want to go together?
Would be easier to travel.
You don't stab me in back, right? You won't kill me?
None of my weapons stab. Well, the javelin stab. Not the axe.
They look very pointy. I imagine they would hurt. Well, if we go same way, you're not going to kill me, I not kill you.
No!
I don't
no.
see any reason why we don't travel same way. Have you been
Agreed.
accosted? I've had two people try to take something from me on the road. They're not in good way, but already happened to me once. You do okay?
4 goblins have been dead by my hand.
Ah, this I know. This I know. Well, perhaps we travel together. They don't even try. We make much easier passage. What is your
I
name,
am-
friend?
My name is Thrag.
Strag.
Son.
I like the name.
Now, I actually have a question for you, Thrag. You mentioned in your background that you are aspiring to be a knight of Solamnia, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So, as part of that aspiration, you are in fact a squire, a Solamnic squire, which comes with an insignia of your rank.
Mhm.
Would you be displaying this openly, or would you be keeping it to yourself?
It would be proudly adorning his shoulder. He is not wearing any armor. He is wearing more like leather wrappings and attire. something you'd imagine in like someone living on the land would wear, but he is proudly displaying it on his shoulder.
So, Nimoy, that would at least inform you to some degree with the kind of character you've met upon the road. The Knights of Solamnia hold a strict code of conduct and honor that require, well, a great amount of both of those things in good regard. This individual, if they are in fact a true squire of the Knights of Solamnia, would probably be one of the more trustworthy figures you could meet on the road.
Let me ask you, Zrag,
Yes.
that symbol you have, you did not pick that up off of a dead man, did you? Or did you earn it?
No, it was awarded to me by slaying many goblins.
So you are a knight of Solamnia.
Knight, soldier, whatever brings me the greatest glory.
Well, I believe that removes quite a bit of tension. I've never known a knight to be not an honorable individual, at least those of Solamnia.
No, he shuffles through his pouch really quick for a piece of paper. I am a sworn knight of Solenia. Yes. I mean no one any harm. That is what my captain wrote on me.
Good cue card. I am from Kern. My name is Friend, Nimoy Friend. It's good to meet you.
Nimoy.
You could
Pleasure
call
to
me
meet you.
Friend, Nimoy, whatever you want.
I hail from to the east. He actually has to stop for a minute and do the he's trying to figure out which direction he came from.
Are you lost?
No, I know exactly where I am at all times.
Hmm.
I am from Elcombe. Yes, over that way. He points, hopefully into the right direction of Elcombe.
Where's Elcom on here?
To the west.
To the west.
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
south one,
Yeah, you point, and I think Nimoy just like with 2 fingers, like just pushes your hand a little bit. There we go.
Yes.
He goes, so Elcom, you're as far as from home as I am from mine. We're both in strange lands, so it's good that we found one another.
Yes, it is rather. What's the word you humans use? Enlightening. Yes, that is one word that you use. It is enlightening to find another individual on the road.
Yes,
It's quite lonely.
I
Not
don't
many
know.
of my kind are in these parts.
You mean the Knights of Solamnia or the Leonin?
Yes, I am. Not very common in these parts.
Okay. Well, I do not have same nice badge as you to say I am honorable man, but I hope you can take my word for it. I will understand if you are tense. I could slit your throat in the middle of the night. That would be terrible, and you don't know if that's going to happen. Only my word that I will not. So, let us hope that does not happen.
No, it will not happen. Thrag's neck is far too thick. No knife will cut it.
Zreg does have very thick neck, I can see. Well, let us admire each other's features as we make our way to Kalaman.
How big are you as a character?
He's 5'10".
Oh, you're taller than him.
We probably can't even notice. Like it's like
Yeah, the spiky
between
hair.
you and me. It's not a lot.
It's a spiky hair, yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, let us go down the road. You tell me stories of your journey, I'll tell you stories of mine. We keep ourselves entertained. You have tent, right?
Tent. This is a human instrument. I have a flute.
A flute. Okay, sound like you going to be just fine if you made it this far. I have tents, so we good. Alright, on the road to Kalaman. And then that's where I probably leave you. I have business north.
I too have. He fumbles for yet another note in his pouch.
What does this one say?
Well, he mumbles the city that we're supposed to be going to.
All your memories come from notes. Frag.
Yes. I make sure that I
Sorry,
write
Nicky.
everything down in before I get out. You see, I get confused easily.
You are quite character.
But only because my... Let's just keep going. He shoves another note in his pocket.
Let's. You will find your way from Kellerman, and I will find mine.
Excellent. So, our players will continue along the road to Kalaman, eventually catching a ship and crossing the mouth of the river to the other side of the shore, which has a road that leads to Vogler.
You're taking same boat as me, Srank. Why are you on my boat?
I needed to take this boat. The note is very specific.
All right.
I am going to... He shuffles through more of these notes. A city named Vogler. Vogler? Vogler, yes, that is correct.
Interesting. Well, perhaps we'll pass it. He does not say he's going to Volker, too.
Do you continue walking with Thrak?
Yeah, we're on a boat at this point.
He is not very fond of the water. He
Do
stays
not
in the
worry, it
cen-
will not splash up and get you.
He stays in the center of the boat. I am fine here. Does not bother me.
All right, view is not as good, but okay.
Well, it is when our party, or rather this part of our party, departs the boat that they meet two other individuals who happen to be on the same crossing.
On the boat?
Indeed. That's a bigger ferry.
Okay.
But either way, as you depart from the ferry, there aren't very many individuals taking the path to Vogler. In fact, there are just 4. One, the lion you have already met, Nimoy, but 1 human and 1 centaur.
I see the human, and I walk up to him, and I embrace him. I go,
He'll give a big hug back.
and he just looks back at him, and he knocks heads with him.
He'll try to hold back a little bit and winces at it, but he's...
You really do know everyone.
That is a friend, Skull, if I've ever felt one. Good to see you, brother. I'm glad you made it. I figured I would see you on the road or somewhere. Let me introduce you to my friend.
Thrag will walk up rather quickly.
This
Are you
is
initiated in
Thrag.
combat with this man?
No, Thrag.
These-
Calm
the laws
down.
The laws are very strict on the terms of assault. I
Puts
cannot
his,
assist you in an unlawful action.
puts his hand on his chest. This is my brother, Thrag. My blood. My flesh and my blood.
He is your flesh. And he looks very concerned.
We were born of same womb.
Oh, you are pack mates, I see. Yes, that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Nice to meet you. This is Laffy.
Laffy. Very
He's
good to
also
meet
my
you.
brother.
Oh, then you are my sister. I always welcome more to my family, and he comes in for a big old hug.
Thrag looks deeply confused.
Oh, yeah. I'm all for hugs.
All right, and he leans back and he goes, and then he knocks heads with you.
Oh, that might hurt. I have
goes-
antlers.
He goes, yeah, yeah. He knocks heads with you, scrapes up his head, and he goes, "Now that's a friend, Skull, if I've ever felt one." Ow!
I am very... Why are you assaulting one another? This is against the law. The knights were very clear on no striking.
It is simply a gesture, Zrag. Do not worry.
Oh,
Ver-
he walks. He will walk up to. He will walk up to Elquin and headbutt him.
So he's gonna like, as you're walking up, he's gonna like put himself between. It's done between families, Zrag.
Oh,
Between family.
oh, I see. Well, he just extends a hand. I am Thrag, son of Ergol. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Pleasure is mine. He'll reach out and shake hands. Let's see. Is he also going to Vogel?
Yes, that is the town that is written on my note.
It would seem so. And he'll lean in to you, El says, you did not tell me in letter that we have sister now.
This is news to me as well.
Oh, it's more of the one of the things with the order. We're all brothers and sisters.
Oh, I see.
okay,
I am
okay,
not.
that's what you
I
meant,
am
okay.
not in order. But you, you know,
Yeah.
any sister of my brother is sister to me. So
Yes.
So did your father not sire with a centaur?
no,
No.
this is
Unlike
a different bond.
We've both been initiated.
Hmm.
I told you last time we met I was
That is
getting
right.
ready.
Did you pass your trial, brother?
The first one, not the dangerous one. But yes.
What is a trial
With
if
the
it is not
Laffy, sir.
dangerous, though? Did you learn anything?
The Laffy is very useful.
You learned that Luffy is useful.
Yes.
Oh, I guess that is something worth knowing. Luffy, you help my brother?
Well, we had to get done with the trial. I didn't want to be last.
I thank you for taking care of him.
And so we were first. So
First. That's what I'd like to hear.
Oh, and then I hug Crag.
Thrag gives you a very, he's very, oh, yes, friend. I have
No
never met a
handshakes,
centaur.
Always hugs.
I have never met a centaur of your kind before. It is a pleasure to see another fellow, what they say, beast race.
Who are you calling a beast race?
That is what the villagers call me.
You are Rionin, are you not?
Oh, yes. I thought it was a term for endearment. Yes, that word.
So, Zrag, you are heading to Volker.
Yes.
Vogler. And, sister is with you just for company?
is- she
Oh
knows
no, I know that this crazy old man
Spinner
too.
as well. Yes.
So that is okay. So you two, you know, I know that Eld knows, but Zrag,
Yes.
why are you going to Volga, Volga again?
I go to pay my respects to a dear friend.
Of course you do. Would this dear friend go by the name of Ispin Greenshield?
Greenshield, yes, that is what he called himself quite frequently.
Tis
In many
fate-
boasts.
Tis fate that brought us together on the road. We are heading the same place.
Oh! That is incredible.
I too know Ispin. But it is probably most probable. We are going same place. We would find each other eventually. How did you all know? I know Eld knew him, but how did you two know Ispin?
I met him many years ago. 4, in fact. He, or whether I, assisted him in defending the town of, town in Elcombe. We slaughtered many goblins together.
That sounds like him.
Yes.
And
That is what. It was from those actions that aligned me as a squire of the knights.
He's an influential man. Luffy? How do you know him? Or did you just hear about him through my brother?
Oh, no, quite the opposite, Actually, he introduced me to your brother.
Ah, this makes sense.
I met him on one of my first ventures out from the woods, where, well, there was an unfortunate event with bandits and all of my stuff being stolen.
Ah.
Did you kill them in glorious retribution?
Did you?
Well, not all of them.
Ah.
You
Mercy
spared
is
some
good.
to leave a message. Good.
I like that. Ispin stole my chance at happiness. Bastard. So I have to come and make sure he's dead.
What did he do?
He's an old friend, do not worry, I kid.
Oh,
It's an old story for old times.
Well, our party will resume their travels, sharing stories of Isfin and their own journeys to get to this point. The road to Vogler is charming, covered with foliage and beautiful sightlines of farmland. But there is a span where we will hit some heavy woods that take a less frequently traveled route. But the signposts say that this is the way to Vogler, and so we take it. But it is upon this road that we come across something rather alarming. The sounds of someone screaming for their life. You hear the sounds of a man yelling around the next bend, shouting, "Please! Help!"
Someone is in trouble.
Shortly after you hear these cries, a man rushes around the bend, racing towards you. A young man with disheveled brown hair and what must be a mattering of mud and maybe blood spattered across his clothing. He runs to the party, immediately throwing up his arms and grabbing, I'm going to say, Thrag.
He is the knight.
He shakes you and says, "Please, you have to help them. They're under attack."
help who? Help where?
Yeah, speak clearly, boy.
The soldiers that were under attack, the cloaked figures. They came upon us so fast.
He's figures.
Speaking rapidly and incoherently, babbling with panic.
Point
Take
me
us
in the
there.
direction. Take me now. I must go.
Okay. Yeah, he leads you up the road, calming ever so slightly with those of you at his back, and he says, "You have to help them. I was hired to care for their horses, and they said they were looking for strange figures, and we were supposed to be on our way to Vogler, and the things jumped out of the bushes, and I hid, and I was so scared." As you round another bend, he stops frozen in his tracks. And he turns, he says, it was right around the corner. Just 100 yards or so. I'm not going to go any further. Please, you have to help them.
As soon as he was running at us, Eld would start casting mage armor on himself.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that effect would still be active on you, for sure.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours or something.
Yeah.
Does he seem genuinely scared out of his mind?
Give me an insight check.
Alrighty. I am the worst person to do this. 11.
Yeah. I mean, that man looks like he was genuinely terrified for his life. And the state of his garb definitely reinforces that state. It looked like he crawled through a brush just to get to wherever he ended up.
Okay.
Alright, prepare for anything.
Indeed.
So, do our characters leave this man and head down the bend looking for this attacked caravan he spoke of?
There is someone in need of help. Will not leave them.
Okay. Yeah, we will leave the individual who introduces himself as Riss, at least at some point during his panicked cries. He sits next to the road, clutching his knees, his chin tucked up against them. Yeah?
Nimoy is cautiously being aware of any ambushes, because this could be a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I guess I could just check myself, can't I?
Yeah, you always can.
Give me that
Passive is
perception.
14.
15.
9.
Minus
Oh
13.
man, where
have
is
two
it on the
wisdom
sheet?
checks.
It is right where senses
Oh,
is
I
dead
see it.
center. Yep.
Yep,
Perk.
excellent. Now let me grab. This was the.
Just don't ask me to make a passive investigation check.
All right. So as our characters make their way through the underbrush, you don't detect or sense any waiting bandits, but you do hear the sounds of rustling, of people looting and throwing boxes and things around. And as you approach a bend, I would like it if, I'm assuming our party would like to remain undetected.
Yes.
So I would love some stealth checks.
Oh no. Today is the worst day for me.
Just get them out while you can, Elfquin.
Oh no!
Poor
Did I not
Thrag.
roll like I was supposed to? Come on.
Well, I got a
Double
plus
click.
3, so that's actually a 12, Kyle. It's not terrible.
Give it a double click. Should pop
Yeah,
out.
if you double click the number in your character sheet, it should roll
Number.
with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Jill,
Yeah, it took me a
It's a
sec for
little
that.
funny,
Ju-
but
I mean, I can re-roll if you want, but I'll take this. I'll take the low roll.
Is there a way to mark spell slots in here?
yeah, there's supposed to be circles, isn't there, Alex?
Yeah,
Same?
just at the top of the.
Oh
This
wait,
back.
no,
There it is. Gotcha.
no, never mind. I'm sorry. I rolled a 5. It's a 5 in total. It's 5.
Excellent. All right. So, our characters will sneak as best they can around this bend and witness for themselves a wrecked wagon lying toppled, surrounded by armored corpses. We see strange figures picking through the remains. From beneath these figures' dark cloaks jut scaly wings and sharp reptilian features. Busy with their looting, they have not noticed you. But you can see that there are 5 in their number, one of them larger than the other 4.
Nimoy begins loading his hand crossbow.
There are 2 over there and 2 there.
Now let me share the site.
Ooh. Whoa. Yeah, we've got some dead guards.
Ooh.
Are they knights of Solemnia?
You see the horned helms? They are probably Solamnic knights.
Oh no.
Zrak,
Okay.
you and me, we take these, and Eld and Luffy, you take those. We surround, surprise.
I will go first.
That is a good idea.
Do you have to use Question to people who have played barbarians: do you have to use a bonus action to enter rage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I have the combat tracker up in preparation.
Okay.
I love this
Are
art.
they the same colors as in this thing?
Red, green, green, and I think green. 3 greens and a red.
Oh, like the characters? Yes, they are color accurate.
Am I right in saying it's 3 greens and a red?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I guess the art isn't being. Oh, actually, no, it is being accurate. There is a fourth one. You just haven't seen them yet.
I see 4 on the art.
There are
1,
4
2,
greens
3,
and a
4.
red.
4 greens and a red. Yeah, we just can't see
There
the
are
4th green.
5.
Oh, we do. We
I
do.
see 5 on the art.
He's up in the corner, Kyle. He's hiding in the background. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's red.
So, these individuals look to be busy looting, but our party seems eager to engage these murderers. So, do we take advantage of a surprise round? Are we attacking?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, unless anybody isn't going to. I mean, you think Nimoy and Zrag probably look ready to fucking go.
Yeah. If anybody wants to try and take another action, feel free to voice that, but you don't have a lot of time to convince your party otherwise. And I will require some stealth checks if conversation takes a while.
Yeah, the only thing Nimoy says is me and Thrag take these 2, you guys take those. Or 3 and 2, we'll split it up somehow.
I think
Okay.
we only see 4 of them
That
right now,
works.
though, right?
I think so.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then it sounds like our party is ready to initiate combat. So please give me some initiative. And let's get this game underway.
Oh! Okay.
Nimoy is ready.
I am. I wish I was a Gloomstalker already. Fuck. And an assassin. This would be
Right.
the best if I had all my stuff on.
That is a 12.
In your character sheet, you can double click on the initiative to roll with the
Oh,
bonuses.
That's fair.
But it's 12 for now.
Is there a way to customize my dice color?
Yes.
There it
Up
is.
in the tools, go to dice.
Okay.
Tool, dice, and you can change the color
I'll figure it out from there.
at the top. It lets you change the color. Alright, my initiative is in there. Let me get some combat music. Can I find some?
Excellent. All right. So let's see. Everybody's got their initiative out. That should have recorded it in the tracker. I'm double checking now. Looks like Thrag's initiative didn't get picked up. Did you? It looks like you just rolled a d20. Did you double click the initiative?
I guess I can click. I'll just click the initiative.
Yeah. If you do that, it'll plug it into the tracker automatically. So that is the ideal. And it'll do the math for you with your bonus, so you don't even have to worry about it.
Even worse.
All right. Excellent. So, Nimoy, you are the first to engage. The individuals around you surprised as you unleash your initial volley. Please.
Okay, yes. I will fire and then fire again. I will aim at red one and the green one, okay?
Okay.
Actually, no. I put both into red one. Let's get him. Let's work that. Let's
Do we have a
one of the
combat map or something, or are we just theater?
There
mind
is not a combat map for this one.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are theater of the mind in this one. All right.
Yes, for this one we'll be theater of the mind. How we move with spacing is how we did it before, where if you use your movement, you will exit out of melee range, and if you aren't in melee range, you can use your movement to move into it.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense. You're working with ranges. Yeah. Nimoy aims, fires. 14.
14. You were shooting at the red one first, correct?
I am.
Okay. You let loose your bolt. He's in the middle of hauling a giant sack out of the wagon, and it deflects off of one of his horns. He looks up, looking for you, spying where the arrow came from, and he roars, dropping the sack.
As he roars, mouth open, I go for another shot. Hopefully right into the mouth. That's my bonus
Lappy
action shot.
gestures
Oh,
at
that
you.
was almost a 20.
I know, it hovered on a 20. So that's with my crossbow expert bonus action. I've used a one-handed weapon. Bonus action, I use another. Bonus action, I can use a hand crossbow. And it can be the same hand crossbow. So we're doing damage from that. I will
Yes.
mark favored foe, so I can get an additional D4 on him.
Perfect.
So we'll do this, and that's 7 plus 2, so 9 points of damage. So I want to just as he roars, I want to put one right in his mouth if I can.
Between those two shots, Ed points at Elapi points at gestures at the vulnerable parts of the body to Nimoy.
Yeah, he just goes, I know. It auto spends my ammo. I'm so happy.
Yeah, you let loose the bolt and you watch it sink into the thick cheek muscles of this creature. His head rips back, blood splattering over his scales. He instinctually reaches up, claws the arrow out of his face with complete abandon to his physical state. And that will bring us to the other creatures who rolled high on their initiative that are surprised. So they don't get to go this round, leaving us Elafi, who is next on initiative.
Okay. I think I have to look at. I forgot what damage one of my spells does because I don't. I will hex one of the green ones.
Excellent.
And then I will chill touch that same one. And my chill touch is actually just a pure black orb, kind of like Sphere of Annihilation.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Ah, cool.
Probably miss.
It's a green one.
That will miss.
Fuck.
Now we will watch it slink out of the way, avoiding the icy touch of your attack. All right. Anything else for your turn?
Nope. I'm gonna stay at range. So.
Excellent. So that'll bring us to Eldquin.
Are two of them within 5 feet of each other? Are they close to each other, or are they spread out?
I would say at least two are, because they were in the middle of looting this caravan.
Okay.
If you are doing AoE, you can always use the Theater of Mind AoE rules from Xanathar's. Or you can just
How
say,
did that work? Where it captures a percentage based on the cone?
It is a percentage based on the thing. It's kind of cool. We never get to use it because every time it's we always just end up going somewhere else, or just calling it.
I can do this while you look that up because
Okay, yeah, do that.
This isn't necessarily
this is just
AoE spell. This is one of
Sounds
the
good.
sorcerer features that I have. I get Sacred Flame, and I get to hit two things if they're within 5 feet of each other.
Disregard me. I'll save it for later.
So, all good. So I think they make dex saves against a DC of 13.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's both of these green boys. Now, your hex, was that the one that gives one of them a disadvantage to a skill check, Alex?
Does it
Did you-
do that?
Doesn't do saves though. It'd only be attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Some may do
never
it
mind.
strength.
I guess it isn't helping.
Strength is good, actually, yeah. To have disadvantage on strength checks, because I think an attack is a strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. One is a 9 and one is an 18.
Okay, so the one that got a 9 is going to take a d8 of radiant damage. And when this, how do I do that? Double click. Ooh, nice. When this spell goes off, you see Eldquin has actually a black circle on his forehead, and you will see that actually light up with a, essentially the image of like a full moon, and his staff will also kind of light up as he casts this, pointing it almost as if it was coming out of that, and it forks out, and it is essentially moonlight coming out of that staff to hit
Awesome.
both of them.
The one that passed, he takes half damage?
No damage. It's just
Oh,
it's
this is a
cantrip,
cantrip.
so yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll watch one avoid the forking blast, it ripping into the cliff behind him. The other, not so fortunate, as it takes the brunt of that solar damage, searing him with radiant power, leaving sizzling scales in its wake. And that'll bring us to Thrag. That'll bring us to Thrag.
I was muted. Sorry. No, but just to double check. No one in our party is in close proximity to them. Correct?
No. We
Okay.
are all at range currently.
Okay. I run up to the closest one.
All right,
My-
perfect.
my-
The
my-
closest one is the red boy.
Okay. Yeah. I will use my bonus action to do Daunting Roar, and creatures of my choice within 10 feet that can hear me must succeed on a Wisdom saving roll of a DC 13 or become frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Ooh, nice. Okay. You said DC 13?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They all succeed.
Hold on. I haven't rolled the red guy yet. Okay, you roar directly into the face of this red boy, and you watch them all turn and roar their answer back at you.
Good answer. And that's not good.
And for official record, yeah, every single one of them passed.
Oh,
Great.
jeez.
That's great. No, that's fine though. I'm going to make an attack on this guy. I am going to do my precise strike. So once per turn, when you make a melee attack with a weapon, attack roll against a creature, you can cause the attack to have advantage.
We can't see enemies on the track yet, Kyle, just letting you know.
That's fair. I think I'd like to keep it that way,
Okay,
just because their names are spoilery.
sure.
Is that okay to use, Kyle? It's part of the Squire of.
Oh yeah, I didn't say no.
Okay,
Go
so
for it.
okay, so if the attack hits, I do a 1d8 extra times.
Yeah,
An
give me that
additional.
advantage.
Yep. So.
Go, punch him.
I shouldn't roll a d20. Never mind. I should have hit the attack, the action.
Yes.
So
I believe there's a toggle for advantage too. In the lower left corner, there's an ADV button you can click. That's just a toggle for advantage.
Yep, it's right there at the
A-
bottom of the whole screen, the whole
Oh,
program. A,
yeah.
DV, and DIS.
Yep. Okay, so I will hit Whoo! Well,
All right.
we're great. It's fantastic.
All right. So you reach for your great axe, grab it with both hands, and bring it down. Your knightly training having taught you exactly how to use this weapon to its highest proficiency. You see this creature reach behind its back and pull out two wickedly twisted looking daggers. It brings them into a cross in front of it, and using its immense strength, blocks your entire blow. He
Okay.
doesn't try to avoid it at all.
Okay.
He then parries it, sending the motion into the ground, your axe slamming into the dirt, him snarling into your ear. And we will be done with the surprise round. Back up to Nimoy.
Is Red One still alive?
Red One is still very much alive.
Okay, I will fire at Red One again. Let's do this. Here we go. Okay, not so good for shot. I go for bonus action, second shot. Very bad. My turn is over.
Oh no. Alright, yeah, two bolts just flying past him as we see him stand erect. Turning his head towards his companions, he barks something. Kurastatavir! Immediately, we watch three of those figures then turn, preparing to run. One of them, however, does not.
Is it because
He-
he's hexed?
It's because he doesn't feel like running, I suppose. He draws two short swords and lunges forward, engaging Thrag in melee combat.
Kill him, Thrag!
All right.
That
Thrag,
hits.
You feel the bite of its steel slicing into your hide, dealing 4 damage to you.
Thrag roars out.
Are you raging right now?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I will be next. I was hoping the frightened condition.
Right, I get that.
Yeah. Elafi. You
Okay.
are next as the 3 other creatures have turned and begun to escape into the forest.
Are any of those the one I hexed?
The one that you hexed is engaging Thrag.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna shoot that one. Because that one seems mean.
Also, just quickly, does anybody understand Draconic?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I do.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? It just seems like such like you know Common and you know Draconic if you're playing D&D.
It's the first time it's ever
Hey,
come in
yo.
handy.
So for those of you who understand Draconic, I totally could just type this into the chat in Draconic and you guys would see it.
That's
Um,
true.
I might do that later, but right now I'm just gonna say this creature, he turned and barked in Draconic. Back to the host!
To the host. Oh boy, it's not good, guys.
Alright,
There's a host.
the 22 does hit.
Okay, so
I like that.
3 and
The hex. Yep,
oh,
it broke.
hex doesn't actually have a thing, so we'll
Throw a d6
fix that
in
later.
there. Woo!
9 damage total.
Alright, what does it look like when you kill this creature?
One of the greens.
Uh,
Oh my god, yeah.
It's the black sphere just sort of sinks through into his head, like straight into his forehead, and he slowly starts turning black out from that.
Oh, totally.
Like the super black, like not like black paint, black as in void black, like the moon is.
Yeah, we will watch that black energy leak over him and then be overtaken by a weird stone. As the creature, his body petrifies rapidly in the wake of your mortal strike. He crumbles to dust. When his body collapses, the dust expands outward into a cloud. Thrag, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, this is the red one dying?
Nope.
No, it's the green one.
Oh, green one. Okay, con saving throw. Okay.
Yes, please.
I'm not rolling hot tonight, boys.
13's
Okay.
not bad.
Yeah, the dust settles around you, but you have the reflexes to pull your forearm up to your nose, blocking the majority of whatever this is from being inhaled. Nobody wants to suck up a dead man into their lungs. And whatever it could have done to you, perhaps given you a nasty infection, or, God forbid, miner's lung, you have avoided it. And that'll bring... Alafi, is there anything else you wanted to do during your turn?
I bonus action move my hex out of the statue into the red guy.
Excellent.
Feels
All
fine.
right. So that'll bring us to Eldquin.
The ones that are running away.
Yes. They
are-
took their full action to absolutely book it. Now let me double check their movement speed. Okay, that's dark vision. I almost said they have a 60-foot movement speed. Well, shit. Now you know they have dark vision. Listen, ignore that. All right, they are, both of them, using their movement and then their dash. So they are 2 spaces away, a total of 60 feet.
Okay. Are they within 20 feet of each other?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to cast sleep on the ones that are running.
Ooh.
Nice.
So Eld will bring up his staff kind of in front of him, and he'll kind of do one of the twirls so it creates like a circle in the air, and the rays will shoot kind of, or a big ray will shoot from that. The way this works, I think I do 5d8, and then you order things in ascending order of hit points, and whatever that 5d8 gets over, that one falls asleep. And if there are left over, it doesn't do anything to that last one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as many full hit points worth as you can
Yeah.
cover.
And there's no save or anything for this. That's insane.
Sleep is a great spell.
Okay. So I need 5d8. It does not have that in here, so I need to just do, hold on. How do I, times 5. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a total of 23. So if something is under 23 hit points, the one with the lowest health, you subtract that from the 23, and
it
that one
moves
falls
on.
asleep, and then it moves on to
Yep.
the next one with whatever's left over. Yeah.
Excellent. So we will see 2 of them collapse asleep.
So yeah, I stalled 2 for now, and then I guess guess stay where I'm at.
The other
Alright.
great thing about sleep, not a concentration spell. It just lasts a minute.
Oh,
Jesus. Sure does.
All right. So that'll bring us back to the big guy.
Isn't it my turn?
No, he goes before you.
Oh. I thought he already attacked me.
No, that was the green one.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He takes both of his daggers and brings them to bear against
whew.
you. Ooh,
They miss.
those are both going to be misses.
Thank God. Whew.
Yeah, the way they slice through the air, you feel the danger just barely being avoided here. And it is your turn.
Okay. Thrag will go into a rage. I don't know how I can activate that on this character sheet. But he is enraged. He roars with a bestial anger. And I am going to attack him as enraged. I get a +2 to my attack rolls. I am going to use the Squire, the precise strike again. I will have advantage on my attack roll, and I will. It will be plus. It will be a +7. I mean, wait. Actually, I think my stats are incorrect. Because my weapon is only giving me a +2, and that's just not true. I should have a +5 to hit.
Which weapon?
The Great Axe. It says I have a +2, but I have a +5.
You should have your strength, proficiency, and the. Oh,
Is
no,
it
rage
not
is just
going from
damage.
strength, probably?
That's because it wasn't set to strength as the primary stat for it.
Oh, okay.
I have changed that, so now it is +5.
Can you change the javelins as well?
Yeah, for future reference, the way you can do this is by clicking the gear on the attack.
Oh,
and then
okay.
See how it says attack stat
Yeah, yeah.
base?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll switch that to the stat that it should be using.
Okay.
Believe you don't get a bonus on your attack roll. You get a bonus on damage with rage.
No, no. It says I don't know actually. Let me look at D&D Beyond.
Or you can click rage on your character sheet. You have advantage on strength checks.
Yeah, rage is
and
just
strength saving
damage.
throw.
Rage is just damage.
Oh yeah, no. I should have a +3
Bonus
or a
damage
plus.
roll.
I should have a base +5 to my javelin attacks.
Yeah. Alex was talking about rage, Dustin.
No. All right. Anyway, so I have a. This is coming at a +7 with advantage.
+7 with
Why
advantage on
+7?
attack.
Yeah, because
Rage doesn't do attack roll.
Rage does not add to attack roll. I will look it up for you right now if you want me to.
It does not.
No, that's fine. Okay, never mind.
It
It's a
is
plus-
damage.
Just damage. All right. Oh, melee damage. All right, so just +5. That's fine.
Just +5.
All right, that is a 21. Does that hit?
I don't think that's a 21. I think that's just a 16.
You didn't use
Oh.
your weapon
You didn't
roll
click
again.
the weapon roll.
Oh, yeah, I'm not calculating. Never mind. That is a 16.
Okay. Well, for future reference, if you double-click the weapon, it'll have all that stuff plugged in for you.
Yeah.
That being said, That does hit.
Excellent. All right, so I'm gonna roll damage. All right, that's 12, and then I will roll a d8. 13
him!
damage.
Kill him, Zrag!
Plus your rage damage.
Plus, so 15.
Oh, so 15 damage. So yeah, he will just implant that axe into his shoulder.
Right. Yeah, you hit him with an incredibly mortal blow. And you see him continue to stand.
Boy.
He grasps the haft of your axe and pulls it out of him, taking a step back, snarling as he reverse grips one of his daggers. Nimoy, your turn.
Oh no.
I'm going to try and save Zrag from being eviscerated. So I'm going to fire. Actually, you know what? I will try something strange. Just in case I miss here. I will get close to him. Okay? Closer. Not right on top of him, but close. I will throw net on him, and then I will fire at him. So I'm going to attempt net first, okay?
Oh, okay.
There is no net. I just fire at him.
Well, there's a net. It's over there.
It's over there. He did not get on me. Probably knock it out of the way. It's pretty cheap trick.
You caught Bush.
I just fire at him. Okay, that better.
That hits.
He takes... Ooh, that's good. Plus favored foe for first attack on him. Oh my goodness. Alright, he take 13. Throw net. Fuck it. I just put it on right.
All right, yeah, an excellent shot. With that, we see this creature bleeding from multiple wounds, its eyelids growing heavy, its snarls growing raspy. Laffy, it is your turn.
Okay.
As the creature, the one remaining, has spent its movement and dash to make it another 120 feet away. He's veritably out of the fight.
Yeah. I guess I will just go with the chill touch again, because that seems to be working on the red guy.
Ooh.
Oh, that hits.
Ooh, good job. Good damage.
I decided to actually throw my hex on there for
Hell, I did it and I made it purple. It's so cool.
That is cool.
I want mine to do that with my favorite foe. You have to teach me.
I don't know how I did that.
Okay.
I have to look it up.
All good.
All right, so with that hit, we will watch him, like the green before him, become coalesced in this void emptiness as it leaks over his body. It's snarling, grasping its dagger, raising it above its head, desperately trying to hit Thrag one more time.
This is the red
Or
one,
at-
right?
Yep.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least once, since he hasn't actually done that. It was the green that struck Thrag.
That's right.
But that void will take him, and then we will watch as that void begins to leak green, acidic juice that begins to spray out around him, burning plant life and soil and Thrag.
I am
need-
also nearby, but I am like 5 foot behind Zrag.
Yeah, you are. If you are 5 feet behind Zrag, you are checking now.
Affected
Safe
or not?
from this effect.
Okay.
But I do need Thrag to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So stay away from exploding
13.
dragon things.
Okay. With a 13, you will be able to jump out of the way as the acid sprays around you, somehow managing to avoid its burning touch. The creature will continue to melt in this fashion until it's nothing but a pool of acidic juice next to the dust pile that was its companion, leaving all of you with two sleeping, murderous, scaled creatures
Oh,
snoozing
I moved my
peacefully away.
hex to one of those.
All right, you move your hex to one of those. What do you do with the 2 remaining?
That reminds me. I need to look up the sleep condition.
When they're exploding, are they burning all of their equipment and stuff too?
Yeah, everything about them is dissolving. At least that one that was acid. The one that turned to stone, his short swords dropped to the floor.
For you,
Eld might run over and see what he can take off of them before they wake up.
those 2 links are for Alex in chat. You were asking about sleep.
They just show up as link for me.
You can click them, can you not?
Yeah, it'll
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Do you want to be redirected?" And then it'll take you to where he's linking.
Got nothing.
Should be nothing.
Yeah, I can't look at. I got unconscious stuff on D&D Beyond. I just wanted to make sure, see if there's a thing for waking up from
That sucks.
unconscious.
The links don't work.
but
It
there's
worked for
not.
me. Oh, don't click link. Click the chain.
Yeah, click the
left of
chain.
you.
Yeah, that's just incapacitated and prone, because I believe that's your 2.
Yeah. Well, they're unconscious from sleep.
Which would be incapacitated and prone, I believe, is the
No,
effects.
there's own status.
It's its own status for unconsciousness?
At the very bottom.
You're right. Yeah, but it says they're prone and incapacitated. Get out of here. That's exactly what it
Yeah.
says.
And some other stuff.
And some other stuff. I mean, some of them are redundant. The attack rolls against creature of advantage. I think that's already incapacitated, isn't it?
Well, the auto crit though is pretty important.
The auto crit is important. You're right.
I just wanted to see if there's a wake up thing from that. That was all.
The person who should be coup de grind is 100% Srag, because an auto crit
Oh,
with 2d12. That's our coup de grace.
I think one of us with range should be coup de grace them.
It's just because they
I'm gonna
explode.
waste my arrows.
Because they explode.
Yeah.
They do explode. That's right. I mean, I can pull it out and shoot them both if y'all want.
Oh, I have range spells.
Elda's gonna run up and try to see what's on them before they're dissolving it all.
It's just the red one that dissolved. The others have appeared to have petrified and turned to dust. Their equipment is undisturbed by that effect.
Then you guys can just crush these things.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. I guess. Whenever it's back to my turn, if we're gonna get it back, but I think
We're still in
we have
initiative
the other two,
orders.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
who's up?
That'll be Thrag's turn. Or actually, no, Alafi is the one who killed him, which means it's Eldquin's turn.
Eldquin's, and then
You said you ran up to the creatures to inspect their gear.
Yeah, just to see if there were any like notes or orders or anything that would get destroyed by these weird effects that they have when they die.
Yeah, they don't really appear to leave anything behind except for their weapons and the occasional pieces of armor that were on them. They themselves really were just, for all intents and purposes, naked. They are scaled creatures. Their cloaks used to hide that nature. So really the only actual gear they had on them were their weapons.
Okay. Do you think that constitutes an action to deduce that?
To run over, that would be your movement. To look and see that there's nothing about their remains that sticks out. No, that's a free action.
Okay. Then I will hold my action to attack with the quarterstaff when Thrag has attacked one of them. I'll attack the other.
Okay. So if you only used one movement, you've closed one of the gaps between you and them. They made it 60 feet. So
that's fair.
They're still 30 feet away from you.
Then I will use my move to get up to there.
Okay, so we'll use 2 movements, so you are right up next to them in
Yep.
essentially melee.
Okay.
I'm assuming that your character knows that they explode into clouds of dust, so you're probably going to be more than 5 feet away? Or do you want to be in melee?
Well, if we were... I thought the plan here was to coup de grace them. I guess the clouds of dust I didn't realize were...
If they function the same way as their other
Right,
green pal
okay,
who died,
okay. Then that would be a problem. Okay, I will stay back then. 5 feet at least.
okay. All right, then that will bring us to Thrag.
Okay.
The 2
How,
sleeping boys are 60 feet away from you.
60 feet away? Okay.
Just remember they
Um,
have smoke when they die.
They do. I can't really reach them in a single turn.
You sure? Or 30 of them.
I- Well, I'm 35. I'm 60 feet away. I can only have 35
Okay.
movement speed.
You would be in range of making a javelin toss
Yeah,
at the
that,
very least.
that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, and I have a +2 to damage, so 4 javelin as I'm raging. So
And you will want to...
For the sleep
Make-
effect, now that I'm thinking about it, they get to roll to wake up, do they not?
Nope.
No?
They're just... They're
All
just
right.
asleep for a minute if they had low enough hit points.
Okay.
That's
If they
as
take
far as
damage,
I
they
can see.
auto wake up them.
oh, because they're prone, I have disadvantage on this roll.
But you have advantage because they're
Yeah,
asleep,
it's
so it
canceled out.
cancels out.
Mm,
No, I don't
the-
think I don't
the
think
Attack
that's the case.
rolls
thing-
against the creature have disadvantage or have
Melee-
advantage.
Isn't it melee attack rolls?
It just says attack rolls.
Oh, for the sleep
Oh.
thing? Okay.
Yeah, for unconscious specifically.
Oh,
But
okay.
they can't dodge.
Yeah, Thragus is gonna chuck a javelin at one.
I don't believe you can add your rage rolls to a range attack. Your,
That's a
your
9.
rage damage.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You can't. It's melee.
With strength weapons,
It's only with melee weapons.
you
It's-
gain advantage on strength checks
Melee
and saving
weapon.
throws. Oh,
you
melee.
make a
Ah,
melee weapon.
Attacks.
That's right. Yep.
all right.
But yeah, I don't know if you hit anyway. So
I didn't
That
hit.
nine will miss.
Yep, it misses. I walk up. I walk
But
up
you-
35 feet.
makes
But
sense.
you keep your rage up though, so that's
Yes, because you attacked.
Nimoy.
It do similar thing. I walk up 30 feet and I will take a shot at first one, and it is just a regular shot, I believe.
Excellent.
So we go boom. Okay, the
Ooh,
24.
that hits.
It will take this plus an extra d6, so 6 plus. It'll take 7.
7. Nice. All right. Ow. That hurt. It's awake now.
Okay, it is awake.
Yes.
I will take normal shot against him. Well, he is awake now. No, he is prone. I would take disadvantage. I shoot the other one.
Okay.
Okay,
That
21.
hits.
Other one, 6. Let's see if we do better. Not better. 9.
9. Excellent. Another plop. Both of these bolts going to each one's ass, and they both shout and growl as they awaken from their spell-induced slumber. Both of them already shaking and quivering from the pain racking their bodies. It is their turn. They stand up. Well, the first one stands up, realizes he's not making it out of this situation alive, turns snarling, and charges 15 feet forward. Nobody's in range.
Isn't Eld? near
Actually,
over there?
no.
I was only
Eldquin
10
was
feet
5
away.
feet away.
Yep.
So he is going to rush Eldquin, who's the only person in range.
Get
and
away from my
make an
brother.
attack.
This
17.
green guy's doing work, man.
So that will hit, but I am going to use shield. I have once per day use of this as a lunar thing.
All right.
So that will increase my AC by 5 up to 20.
Nice. And that's good, because as that blow rakes across the shield, he brings up his second sword and makes another attack. This one also rippling off the shield. He snarls in defiance. Oh wait, nope, that wasn't an advantage. Sorry. Still a miss.
Okay.
Alright, the other is going to make the exact same play. He is going to get up and charge into melee, unsheathing his short swords and unleashing Draconic Fury upon you.
Put the Star Wars droid shield up.
Yeah.
Alright, miss.
Doing work.
Wow. All right, we watch Eldquin using this shield to like protect himself from 4 ferocious blows from these creatures who know they're about to die, trying to take this man with them. And it's Alfie's turn.
Alright, I start meandering forward. Just like it's not a rush. And we'll shoot the one with my hex, I guess.
Excellent. Proceed. Uh-oh.
Missed.
That will be a miss. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, I don't think I have a good bonus action yet. No.
Okay. Eldquin, you are currently dancing like Neo and Qui-Gon Jinn had a baby and are deflecting all of these crazed attacks with your
I
shield
love
and
the
your
Star Wars
dexterity.
references.
What do you do?
I am. So my shield comes down.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to use another once per day thing from my Initiate of High Sorcery, which is going to be to cast Color Spray.
That's mean.
Wow.
Color Spray is similar to Sleep, but it is 6d10s.
This is a cone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. A 15-foot cone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I
you'll
need
only be able to hit
to.
one.
Yep.
Unless you repositioned. And
Right.
took
That's
an
what
attack.
I'm.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm debating in my head. Is I could take one attack at not advantage. I'll just hit one with the color spray for now.
Okay.
I'll just do that because we are super low. So that's 5. This is the 6th one. I didn't know how to add another one. So if he has under 33 health, he will be blinded.
Yeah, he's blind.
Okay.
He's seeing the scope.
Yeah, so attack rolls have against him have advantage, and his attacks have disadvantage now. Automatically fails any ability check that requires sight.
Awesome.
I'll also note for the targeting, this, if you're using that that chart I sent you, Kyle, this is on there. So if they are right next to each other, you could roll the D3 to make a decision, but it's up to you.
In some cases, I definitely would, but I've been in this scenario enough times playing to know that
It's really
when
hard.
you
Yeah.
can't really get a
Yeah.
15-foot cone to hit 2 people like that.
Yeah.
It's hard
When
they're right on top of you.
yeah.
I think that is my turn.
All right. Thrag.
Srag.
Okay, I'm going. Thrag will.
This poor mage is like 2 seconds away from being turned into sushi.
He will save the tiny. He will save the tiny mage.
It's real tough.
He's holding
very-
his
the
own,
very- the
somehow
very
not
resil-
getting hit, despite the fact that they're really trying.
A very durable tiny mage. He will run up
the
to
concept.
the closest one. No, actually, the one. Well, yeah, the one closest to
Essentially, they are equal in their proximity
Okay.
to your companion.
One of the other.
Okay. Thrag is going to make an attack. He's going to use the knight, his final use of the knight's perk of Precise Strike. So he will have advantage on this roll. This will be +5.
That'll hit.
Okay, 18. Let me wait 1 second. Let me just check and make sure. No, I'm thinking barbarians don't get extra crit. I don't think, do they? That's
No.
that's later. Okay, so that's gonna be a 1d12. So that's 7 plus 3 plus 2. So that's 12 damage. Plus 6.
Okay, what does it look like when you cleave this thing? It's dead.
He just brings it down directly center to his head and cleaves him in two.
Yeah, you cleave this creature completely in twain, and before its body can even hit the ground, you see it flash petrify right in front of you, and as it slams into the ground, it bursts into dust. I need both you and Eldquin to roll Constitution saving throws.
Roll high, boys. Roll high.
Is that on the main page? Yeah, con save.
No, gosh, I am rolling. I that is the one thing I do not enjoy about Fantasy Grounds is the abysmal rolls.
Why do I have +4 to my con save? Oh, proficiency and okay. Weird.
I'm glad you saved.
Okay. Yeah, Eldquin, you are able to shield yourself from the burst of dust collecting in the air from this creature dying. Thrag, you saw this happen before, and you tried to get your hand up in time, but having just cleaved the thing in two, it was all around you before you could even bring your hand off of your axe. And you take in this dust and feel its effects ripple through you. We will watch as Thrag petrifies instantly. He is turned to stone.
Really?
Oh crap!
It is Nimoy's turn.
Are you near the other one?
I am, yeah.
Get away from it! Oh no. I can't risk my brother turning to stone here. I hold my action for a single attack for Eldwin to get away. I hold my action for... I'm literally like aiming, and I'm just like, get back! My turn is over. I'm just holding my action to fire. The trigger being once Eld and others are far enough away.
Alright.
I continue to meander forward, but I bonus action move my hex if that wasn't the one with the hex on it, and hold my action for a cantrip to do the same as soon as Eldquin is not next to it.
Alright. Alright.
Luckily, it's blind, so.
Oh yeah, we'll say that the one that was blind was not the one targeted by that melee attack. Let's see. So, Alfie, just a refresher, you aren't attacking the surviving creature either?
No, I'm holding my action for Chill Touch against it.
Okay. So that'll bring us to Eltquin. Oh, wait a minute.
I think they can go
Apologies.
beforehand.
It was actually his turn before even
Oh, yeah.
Laffy moved. So what it is going to do, because it is blind, I am going to have it roll to see which of the people around it is going to try and make an attack roll on. As it kind of just swings wildly. Okay. These attacks are going to be directed at Eltquin. And they are at disadvantage,
Mm-hmm.
as he is blind.
Those good Red Moon spells.
Whew.
All right. Eltquin, you're able to avoid these vicious attacks. It is your turn, as Alfie has already expressed what they did.
Alrighty. I am going to...
Disengage and move away.
So the blindness lasts until the end of this turn.
Okay.
So I might risk it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, risk a strike.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to move back away from him. He will get an attack of opportunity on me at disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay, that's my
Then
trigger.
be nuked.
Yeah, that's our trigger, which I think we just
He will get
go.
to make his attack as you're leaving melee,
That
but then
happens,
after
yeah.
that, everything triggers.
Yeah.
Right.
So he gets to make one attack before
Oh
he
my
dies.
god,
All right.
two. And then this is coming through. Is a blinded? I don't have advantage on a blinded target.
Yes,
do I? I
all
do?
attacks have advantage against
Wow,
him,
wow.
I believe.
Okay. Confirm?
Yep.
Just- Yes. Okay.
Confirmed. I'm looking right at it.
Okay. Then we're doing advantage and pew pew. I had one shot, and we're looking at a 20
That hits.
for 8. Elfie should do
Okay.
hers too. It doesn't matter if it succeeds. Elfie.
Was it favored or?
No, I would
I
not.
missed
I'm not
them.
marking a favor.
Uh,
you with
15
15?
against these guys hits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the red guy with high AC. Oh,
Ooh.
And...
biggest man melts.
Oh, wrong one. Oh, it didn't actually... Really? D6? There we go. Alright, 9 more.
Yeah, this thing gets absolutely lit the fuck up as Elquin just takes a 5-foot step back and he explodes from arrows and spellfire, turning into dust, sending a cloud spreading around him. Luckily, Thrag is already petrified, so he is not affected again.
Luckily.
After the smoke clears, I run up to Thrag. Thrag! Thrag! And I immediately just like smacking the stone on his face. Are you there?
I
Drag?
perform a medicine check on him.
Thrag is a statue.
No, this cannot be.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
$23.
Yeah, your medicine check will reveal that Thrag is in fact a statue. That man is a stone.
Melee comes up to
Don't you
Eld.
think-
Wait, go ahead.
How much do you think a statue this size is worth?
He immediately get two hands on your shoulders. Laffy says, "You do magic. Can you make this go away? Can you save him?"
This is beyond me.
This is my traveling companion. I've known this man for the better part of a few days. I mean, he cannot be just dead. No. We're not leaving him here.
I don't think we should leave him here.
Does
There's
this
a cart back there, right?
Let's go look at the cart. Maybe they have something. How much
Yeah.
does he weigh, a stone? I'm pretty sure I can drag him.
Just don't break an arm off.
We just,
360
make sure
pounds?
we have all the parts.
I also can drag 360 pounds and have
We actually, we did his weight before.
He's one, but wouldn't he be 180 worth of stone? So
Yeah,
it'd be
180 pounds worth of stone. We'll say that triples, but that's still within carrying
Help me.
capacity of 2 people.
Let's get him over here. We should check the cart.
like, oh my god!
We're going to save you, Thrag. We're going to save you.
I just wanna let all our constant viewers of the channel. This is the second time that a character of mine in a long arcing campaign has died in the first session, in the first throng of combat.
Thrag, can you hear me, Thrag?
The last time was much more spectacular.
Yes, but
It was. I don't know. This
That's
is pretty
true.
freaky.
yeah, that's a pretty.
Someone turned to stone. That's really freaky. Come on, really think about it. It's creepy.
Well, the last time was a cone of cold.
It's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
I might know a mage in Kalaman. I don't know if they'll
You
be
know
able to help.
someone. You know someone who could help us.
I'm supposed to deliver something to a mage in Kalaman, so
I was planning on doing that after the wake.
We will take him there.
right.
Wait. Eastman. He knew lots of people. Maybe we take him to funeral. Someone there will be able to help.
Were the things that were fighting that were running away running back towards the town?
If they continued for another 4 or 5-ish hours in that direction, they would hit town.
Should we track that one?
Is there a way to pull up
They're heading
images
that
that you?
way.
Oh, that you've
Yeah.
already seen. Is there?
They should be enabled in images.
We don't see images. I got
Anything that's
tools,
been shared.
library. Is it in assets? Tokens, portraits, all. No. Let me see. Player, characters, notes, campaign, perhaps.
It would be under
Yep,
campaign. There should be an images.
I
uncategorized.
See more than I need to.
Uh,
Let me just close
Go
it.
to uncategorized.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me. Okay, yeah, they're from some.
So
different-
images, and then from the drop-down menu, just switch to uncategorized. Those are the things he shared with us.
No, there's something I did not know. I don't want to.
What is it?
I saw Boiler Drac.
Oh,
Close that.
Yeah.
Please. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't see that.
I don't know why that's shared, but
Does this card looking usable?
here, I'll reshare the thing.
Any resources, perhaps? Any any petrification potions?
Yeah. Looking through the wagon, you will see that there, like, collectively, are 8 days worth of food and water for one person, as well as 40 gold pieces worth of coinage. The figures themselves, although the helmets could be salvaged, their armor is rent to such an extent by vicious claw attacks that it is veritably unusable. Or essentially unusable. As well, you do find 3 long swords.
He gives a long
Now-
sword to each person, and splits the gold.
While you are looting the belongings of these deceased men, you hear the crinkling and crackling of stone as our good friend Thrag begins to de-petrify.
Thrag! Thrag!
Okay.
He disconnected. No.
no, I'm here.
Yeah, I
My
know.
cat
You know.
my cat hit my power button.
Oh no.
I
Oh.
quickly recovered it though. So
Yeah, we'll turn to see the stone peeling off of him like a layer of skin as he de-petrifies.
You scared me. Thrag, you scared me bad.
where am I? Who am I?
Here's 10 gold. He just shoves it in your hand. You both remember who you are? You're Thrag, Knight of Solomnia.
Thrag. Yes, son of Ergol. Yes. Where?
Son
What
of a
happened?
Ergo, first of his name, of course. You turned to stone. We thought you were done for. They did.
rock.
I thought you were fine.
Of course, Thrag was fine. It must have.
I was gonna sell you to a rich person so you'd get a nice spot in the garden.
I would have not allowed it, Strag. It would not have happened.
Well, Thrag would be expensive. You would make much profit.
See, Bragg agrees with me.
Everybody grab 10 gold, make sure. We have 3 long swords.
Thrag, can you use this? He'll hand the longsword to Thrag.
I can.
I will take one.
Slightly small, but usable.
Yeah,
Also, are these your knights judging by the helmet?
You are correct. This is a tragedy. He kneels down and he inspects them.
Are any
Yeah.
of them still alive?
No,
No,
this
all
one
of
was-
all of these men are long gone.
No, this one was stabbed many times. Look at him. His face is gone.
They only held out hope.
We should return to Riss, was it?
You wouldn't even have to worry about returning to him because you hear the plopping of footfalls behind you as Riss jogs up to the site of your victory. He's wringing his wrists and looking absolutely terrified, his face completely pale as he looks at the corpses of the knights. What? Oh, no, they
We did what we could.
were all like this when you got here?
Indeed.
Oh, what were those things?
Sorry for your
Barely.
loss.
Very dangerous.
Can I make a nature check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Close this. Skills are here. Nature is here. Nat 20.
Yeah. With a natural 20, your expert knowledge of beast lore, there is not a single creature you can think of to identify these things.
I've never seen them before, and that is saying something. I know most of the creatures of Kryn. Quite well, in fact. But
He is a
these I've
famed
never
hunter.
seen. Ah, no, not fame.
Strange kobolds, perhaps.
They look like lizard men, but they have wings.
Like dragons.
That is a myth.
Now, there is one thing you find as you are searching through the remains of this battle. A piece of scrap that was once attached to the armor of these creatures. And it looks like this.
Oh, did we remember to grab the things off of them too that survived, weapons and such?
I don't know if we did.
Okay.
What do we think this symbol mean?
I don't know.
It reminds
I
me
will
of
make a terrible religion check.
I've not seen this before, right?
I mean, it's definitely some kind of symbology, but it would be up to you to decide if you've had enough experience with religious symbols to make a check.
No.
I am trained in religion. So
I worship 3 of the gods, so that's
Close enough, yeah.
Ooh, very nice. Alright, let me double check what that check.
I would have studied some of the old religions and stuff when looking through at all the lunar deity stuff, so maybe I had come across something.
Alright, yeah. You can identify it as the symbol of Tachesis. And
Jesus.
yes, you would be knowledgeable enough to know that it is one of Kryn's evil gods, also known as the Dragon Queen.
Ooh.
When this evil gods get brought up, I mentioned that my god is not evil, he's misunderstood.
So some symbol of some dead god, then.
Yes. A troubling one.
Strange creatures, strange symbols. This all smells of... not good. Well, we should get this cart back and running. I will work on that.
Can I use my woodworking tools to get this cart working again?
Yeah, absolutely. Give it a check.
Sure. This is probably just a performance with some proficiency, is my guess. Or I actually, what check would you want? Yeah, because the tool itself has details, but nothing about checks.
I would think Dex and the tool proficiency?
Yeah, I would say...
Proficient. So it's like my acrobatics roll, basically.
Yeah,
Which is
pretty
Dex's
much.
proficiency. So I'll make it acrobatics, but it's okay. Let's give it a shot.
Not bad.
Yeah, 17. I mean, the wagon, one of its axles is definitely fucked up, but you can fashion some wood, carve it down, and make use of a temporary axle that'll service it well enough till you get back into town. It definitely wobbles as you pull it along, but it works.
This will be good enough.
This will get us to town, Vulgar.
I feel like I shouldn't pull the cart. The stereotypes are already bad enough.
What was this young man's name again?
Riss, I think.
Reese, where were you heading with this cart?
Oh, well, they were supposed to go to Vogler at some point.
We're on way to Vogler.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live in Vogler. They were just asking me to tend to their horses, so I guess I'm probably just gonna go home. But if you're heading to Vogler, it's just down the road.
You
like
sure
a few
that's
hours.
safe to go alone? Yes. Maybe you should come to village. One of those things got away.
Yeah, but he ran that way. He points down the road where you're going.
It's true, but you don't know how many might still be around. I mean, go at your own risk, but...
Yeah, he looks back down the path. Well, maybe I'll just stay one night in Vogler.
It is good idea.
Not would be recommended.
So the symbol that we found was on a piece of
Dragon
like
armor.
a armor. Okay.
Yes, it was emblazoned on one of their leather armbands. It's not like an actual medallion, like pictured. But
Luffy.
I would definitely take that.
yeah, for sure. Just add Tachesis armband to your inventory. Also, I did manage to scrounge up this as well. This is the scroll our mages are carrying.
Okay.
There was art for it. The one complaint I do have is that they don't name their pictures in the book, which makes it hard to figure out what they are in the
Here.
image database. So, yeah, like, I have to just search scroll.
Right. Yeah, as I'm getting the cart back together, I look at Luffy. I'm like,
Luffy, just hear me out. I know stereotype. I know it is. But how about you help me, and I am there too, and it less of stereotype. You get one side, I get other. How's that sound?
Guess. You
You
can also
may-
have this statue pull it.
You have more leg than anybody else here. So
I would also like to take a short rest, if at all possible.
Well,
While
I
you're
do-
constructing maybe
That
the
makes
cart and
sense.
everything, and
While you're
I-
constructing part, I will go check the weapons of the random of our monster friends.
That is a good idea. Those weapons were very sharp, as I am pretty sure my stomach is impaled by one.
Some of them
He
might
pulls-
be turned to stone.
Pulls out the dagger, throws it away.
Why was that still inside of you?
It is small, very tiny.
You are tough man, Thrag. I like you.
All right. Well, the weapons that were on the other creatures are, as we suspected, also unusable, having petrified along with their owners, although they are relatively serviceable stone clubs. Not too useful beyond that purpose.
What about Red Guy's daggers?
His daggers melted with him.
Okay,
Of course they did. They were both legendary daggers.
I'm okay with that. I just wanted to make sure we weren't
Right.
For sure.
leaving magic behind.
Don't leave it behind, man. +1 dagger early in the campaign. We need it.
But yeah, after a short rest, our party will not be assailed or interrupted in any way while making camp here. Riss certainly nervous, but much less so as time goes on. Having seen what all of you could do, he definitely does appear to feel some degree of safety in your company. And he speaks at length about how he was really just a stable hand, and these men who apparently were sent here to look for strange creatures spotted in the northern lands of Hinterland, paid him to look after their horses and their kit. And it was supposed to be a really easy, simple job, and they didn't expect anything beyond bandits or perhaps goblins.
It was easy job. Problem was, they just found too much trouble.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Thrag, is there anything that you and the knights hold as sentimental for your order that we could bring back?
There's room in the cart.
I mean, we can bring back all the bodies, but that's a lot of weight.
I do believe it would be probably a... We cannot just leave them here to be eaten by the animals.
Yeah.
Do them at least the honor of burying them before we go.
Well,
Or burning them.
I am not the strongest man, but we could put them in the cart.
Thrag, these are your brothers. What would you have us do?
Wait.
Are they a burning type of culture, or are they a burying type of culture?
Are you there, Thrag?
Sorry. I was reading this note again, double checking. What do you need?
What should we do with the bodies of your brothers? Burn them, bury them, take them with us?
We need to bring them to the town, of course. We need to let other knights know that what happened.
But help me get them onto the cart.
Thrag will carry 2 at a time. He's very strong.
Very good.
All right, yeah, you're able to haul them into the carts.
Is there any rolls I could make, like any other identifying anything I could find on them?
No, they weren't carrying anything that is left on their bodies. If they had things before, they must have been looted and removed by the people who killed them.
Yes, this needs to be reported immediately.
Their swords were already gone too.
Now that's another tragedy. Where did the swords go?
Wait a minute, did we take their swords?
No, that would be illegal.
Can I look at the sword that I have? Is it like branded to the knights?
It has the same kind of decorations the knights did, but if you open up the sword, remove it from its scabbard, you see that it is just a well-maintained but typical longsword.
No, I put in. I look to the others who have swords and I go, maybe we should put these back in here. These are not our swords.
I gave mine to Thrag.
Drag, that sword belongs to your dead brothers.
Of course, there it is. I was worried they ran off or some machination here. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I shall have these returned.
Yeah, I give my short sword over to Thrag.
You found another. Excellent.
He left Luffy.
I attempt to put mine in the cart without anyone noticing.
And you're like, oh look, another one. Like right after you set it down.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Thrag can roll a perception check.
What's his passive perception?
13.
Yeah, you definitely saw me doing that. And then I make a really terrible lie, too. So,
Thrag
there's
is going
another
to
one.
Thrag is going to roll an insight.
Does he need to?
I rolled a 3. I don't think... or 2. Yeah, wow. We're good.
Well, I'm glad that you found yet another one. Seems all the weapons are accounted for now.
And then the one that we gave you.
Yes.
Good. All the swords back with their men. Alright. Let's get this cart to Volgar.
Excellent.
Pull the cart.
We'll push and pull. There's a load of buddies.
Good, yes. Thrag will pull the most.
Alright, you two pull. Friend brothers in the back would push.
All right. And so our party makes their way, pushing and pulling this wagon full of corpse knights to Vogler. Now, we didn't set a time when we started, but I think typically we ended sessions at 10:30 for the Monday slot. So
10:30 with 11 being kind of the cap is how we've done it in the past.
all
We've
right,
had,
if
like,
that's
one episode that went later.
If that's the case, I think what we'll do is we'll end our episode with our friends making their way out of the forest and into a clearing, a road that descends into the village of Vogler. Description of which I will save for our next session so it's fresh in our minds. But there is one notable feature we will see from our northern approach, and that is a tall stone tower perched on the cliff overlooking town with a catapult peeking above its crenellations. And that'll be it for our session tonight, everybody. Congratulations on somehow not getting absolutely murdered by those things.
We did it! Go team!
That red one took a severe amount of damage.
He had a lot of HP, and I'm so happy he did not hit. That would have hurt so bad.
All of them should have hurt so bad.
I know, we only took 4 damage.
I am so surprised Jake was alive.
Oh my god. Woo.
Oh, that was nightmarish. It was like, oh, these guys make a lot of attacks.
Yeah, I
that's
forgot
scary.
that when that shield goes off, that should have flashed like a full moon on my head, because that's the full moon feature of the background or the sorcerer thing. Yeah.
Dustin,
wow.
What is the D8 on your barbarian? That is so sick. What is that?
That is the one of the other reasons that I got the that background was it's called the Knights of Selenia. You do a precise strike. It's actually really fucking powerful. So once per turn, when you make it a weapon attack roll against a creature, you cause that attack to roll to have advantage. If the attack hits, you roll a d8 and add the number rolled as a bonus to the attack's damage roll. You can use this benefit 2 times per long rest, but a use is expended only if the attack hits.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's like super powerful for
And you
a
get
barbarian.
2 of those, so it's like favored foe with a D8. That's so sick.
It's
damn good.
actually more powerful than that. It's
It
not that
is.
he gets 2, it's that he gets 1 per proficiency bonus.
Per proficiency.
Wait,
so as your
per
proficiency
proficiency?
goes up.
Yeah, so
Really?
as you level up, it'll
Oh,
go.
fuck.
You'll get
yeah, that's-
more. The
That's
knight
pretty
is
cool.
so strong. That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. And as a cool little reward for surviving the chapter, everybody will level up to 2.
Woo! So if I level up and beyond and just give you another XML sheet, Kyle, will you just swap me?
If you don't close this for a minute, I'll just do it on mine.
Yeah, I suppose we could do that. In order for that to be a thing, I would have to delete your old character, import the new one,
Right.
and then you'd have to reclaim it every time.
I
But-
know.
Yeah,
I
you'd
know
have to
that I
fix
ha-
all the things.
Yeah, I'd have to fix all the things. I don't know if they're. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll just add it manually. Is the best thing I can think to do. Is it easy to level up in here? I know we don't have all the books, so I know we're not going to have all the features. Is there like a level up button?
I don't believe there is, but you probably could just
Apply
do it in Beyond and then follow the steps.
and then follow the steps. I'll just do that. That works fine. All right, I'm
And-
going to end. Oh wait, go ahead. What are you saying?
Oh, no, go ahead. Do
I'm
that.
gonna end the YouTube video. Thank you for joining us for the first episode of Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Thank you, Kyle, for running this campaign for us. Woo! We're gonna fucking kill some dragons. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Hell yeah. We'll see you for the next one. See you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.